Scheherazade Stories. Tonight's story is about watching and being watched.
You are a professional audiobook narrator for a psychological thriller. The elevator skipped the ground floor. That was the first thing I noticed. Not dramatically, not with alarms or jolts. It just didn't stop. The digital display slid from 1 to -1 without hesitation, like it had always been meant to. I frowned. "That's not right," I muttered. The elevator continued downward. The lights flickered once, softly, almost politely. I was alone. Late evening, office building nearly empty. I'd stayed longer than usual, finishing work I could have done tomorrow. I always did that. Stayed. Delayed going home. The hum of the elevator deepened, lower than before. The display changed again, -2. My pulse quickened. I pressed the open button. Nothing happened. I pressed 0, then 1, then stop. Still nothing. The elevator wasn't falling, it was moving with purpose, smooth, controlled. That scared me more than a malfunction would have. "Hello?" I called, feeling ridiculous. No response. The display flickered, then settled on a number that made my stomach tighten. -4. The elevator slowed. The doors slid open. I stared into a hallway that shouldn't exist. It looked like the rest of the building. Same beige walls, same gray carpet, same emergency lighting humming faintly above. But there were no windows, no signs, no exit arrows. Just a long corridor stretching left and right. And doors. So many doors. Each one identical, each one numbered. I stepped out before I could talk myself out of it. The elevator doors closed behind me with a soft, final sound. The display vanished. I turned slowly, taking in the hallway. The numbers on the doors weren't sequential. -4A, -4F, -4Q. My breath felt shallow. I reached for the elevator call button. There wasn't one. I swallowed and started walking. The carpet muffled my footsteps too well. The air felt thick, like the building was holding its breath. I passed a door labeled -4M. From behind it, I heard a voice. Quiet, tired. "I'll do it tomorrow," someone said. I froze. The voice sounded painfully familiar. Not identical, but close enough to make my skin prickle. I leaned closer to the door. "I just need more time," the voice continued. "Just one more week." My heart began to pound. I stepped back. That was something I'd said dozens of times to different people about different things. A laugh echoed softly down the hallway. Not mocking, resigned. I spun around. A man stood at the far end of the corridor, mid-30s, dark jacket, hands in his pockets. He looked comfortable here. "You're early," he said. "I don't think I'm supposed to be here," I replied. He smiled faintly. "No one ever is." "What is this place?" I asked. He gestured around us. "The part of the building that exists between decisions, the floors people never finish reaching." I shook my head. "That doesn't make sense." "Neither does spending your life pressing the same button and hoping it stops somewhere different." The words hit harder than I liked. I crossed my arms. "So what, this is some metaphor?" He chuckled. "I wish." He walked closer, his footsteps barely audible. "These doors," he said, gesturing around, "they belong to people who kept going down instead of out." "Down where?" I asked. He stopped a few feet from me. "Past the moment where it was still easy to choose." I glanced back at the elevator. "Can I leave?" he asked. He followed my gaze. "Yes," he said. "Eventually." "Eventually," I repeated. He nodded toward the nearest door. "That depends on how many of these you need to hear first." A soft knock echoed from behind one of the doors, then another, then another. Voices began to overlap. Apologies, promises, delays, all variations of the same sentence. Not yet. Soon. Tomorrow. My chest felt tight. I looked back at the man. "Who are you?" I asked. He met my eyes. "I'm the one who reached 0 and kept going." The lights flickered again. Somewhere far down the hallway, an elevator dinged. The man smiled slightly. "Looks like you're not alone anymore." And that's when I realized something worse than being trapped. Someone else had just arrived. The elevator echoed again. Closer this time. I turned toward it instinctively, heart hammering, half hoping, half dreading that the doors would open and someone normal would step out. Someone who would laugh, swear, pull out their phone, and prove this whole thing was a shared glitch. The doors opened. A woman stepped out. She looked just as confused as I felt. Late 20s, coat still on, bag clutched tightly to her chest like a shield. "Is this the basement?" she asked, voice thin. "No," the man said calmly. "It's lower than that." She looked at him, then at me, then back at the hallway full of doors. "What kind of joke is this?" she demanded. "Not a joke, more like an accounting error." She laughed nervously. "Okay, funny. Where's the exit?" The man gestured down the corridor. "That depends on what you owe." Her smile faded. I felt a strange sense of relief. Seeing her confusion grounded me. If I was hallucinating, at least I wasn't alone. "My name's Lena," she said, turning to me. "I was leaving work. The elevator just didn't stop." "I know," I said. "Same." She looked at the doors again. "Why are they numbered like that?" Before I could answer, a door nearby clicked open. Just a crack. A man's voice drifted out, low, tired. "I swear I'll start next week." Lena stiffened. "That sounds like my boss." The door closed softly. Her face drained of color. The man nodded. "It usually does." She turned on him. "You said this wasn't a joke." "I did, and that wasn't your boss. It was a version of him that never stopped postponing the apology he owes you." Her grip tightened on her bag. "That's impossible." He shrugged. "So is this floor, yet here we are." I felt something pull in my chest as another door began to hum faintly. This one was labeled -4E. My throat went dry. "That one's mine, isn't it?" I asked. The man didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked almost sympathetic. "Eventually," he said, "but not yet." Lena backed away slowly. "I don't like this. I'm leaving." She marched back toward the elevator and stabbed the call button. Nothing happened. She tried again, harder. Still nothing. The display above the doors flickered briefly. -4. Then changed. -5. A low vibration ran through the floor. "What does that mean?" she whispered. The man's jaw tightened. "It means the building noticed you," he said. "The building?" I repeated. "Yes, it doesn't like being ignored." The lights in the hallway dimmed slightly. Some of the doors began to glow faintly around their edges. From behind them came more voices, louder now, overlapping, regrets stacking on top of regrets. Lena covered her ears. "Make it stop." The man looked at me. "You've been here longer. You still remember how to move upward." "I don't," I said. "I just arrived." He shook his head. No, you noticed faster. I didn't like what that implied. How do we get out? I asked. He gestured toward the doors. You don't leave by going back to the elevator. You leave by choosing one of these. My stomach dropped. What does choosing a door mean? Lena asked quietly. It means finishing something or admitting you'll never will. The hum beneath our feet deepened. The display above the elevator flashed again. -6. Lena looked at me, eyes wide with panic. Please tell me you know which one to choose. I stared at the door labeled -4E. It was humming louder now, like it recognized me. No, I said honestly, but I think if we don't choose soon, the floor will choose for us. The man nodded once. That's the rule. Below 0, indecision becomes momentum. The lights flickered. Somewhere far down the corridor, another elevator dinged, and this time, more than one set of footsteps followed it. The footsteps grew louder, not rushed, measured. Whoever was arriving had been here before. Lena grabbed my sleeve. That doesn't sound like people who are lost. No, the man agreed quietly. It sounds like people who stopped trying to leave. At the far end of the corridor, 3 figures emerged from the shadows. They didn't look threatening. That was the unsettling part. A woman with neatly tied hair holding a clipboard, a man in a wrinkled suit scrolling on a phone that wasn't on, another man, older, hands clasped behind his back, eyes calm. They walked like this place belonged to them. New arrivals? The woman asked, stopping a few steps away. Her voice was professional, almost kind. Lena shook her head violently. We're leaving. The woman smiled gently. Everyone says that at first. I felt the hum beneath my feet intensify. What floor are you from? I asked. She glanced up at the ceiling as if counting something invisible. I stopped at -9, she said, years ago, before the numbers mattered. My throat tightened. There are floors lower than this? Lena whispered. The older man chuckled. There are floors without numbers. The man who'd first greeted us stepped forward. They're not ready. The woman with the clipboard tilted her head. No one ever is, but the building's been patient with you long enough. She turned to me. -4E is calling. You can hear it, can't you? I could. The hum from that door wasn't just sound anymore. It felt like pressure behind my eyes, like a thought I'd been avoiding for years, now demanding attention. What happens if I open it? I asked. She checked something off on her clipboard. You see the version of your life that stopped progressing right there, where you chose comfort over completion. My chest ached. And then, I asked, and then you decide whether to stay, she replied. Lena shook her head. This is insane. You're talking like this is normal. The man with the phone finally looked up. His eyes were tired. It becomes normal when you repeat it long enough, he said. That's how most of us got here. I looked at Lena. Her door began to glow too, -4B. She noticed it and let out a shaky breath. I don't want to open it, she said. You don't have to, but if you don't, the floor keeps moving. As if on cue, the elevator display flickered. -7. The vibration beneath us deepened. The hallway felt heavier now, pulling downward. I stepped toward -4E. Lena grabbed my arm. Wait, what if this is a trap? Everything is, I said quietly, including staying. I reached for the handle. The moment my fingers touched it, the hum stopped. Silence flooded the hallway. The door opened inward. Inside wasn't a room. It was an office. My office.
but older, more worn, papers stacked high, coffee cups left unwashed, a calendar on the wall with dates crossed out, except one. Today. I stepped inside. The door closed behind me. Across the desk sat a version of myself. Same face, same posture, but his eyes were dull. "I was wondering when you'd come," he said. My voice caught. "You're me?" He nodded. "Me after deciding to wait one more year." I looked around. "You never left?" He laughed bitterly. "I told myself I would. Tomorrow." My chest tightened. "What happens if I leave this room?" I asked. He leaned back. "You can, but I stay, and the building keeps me." I swallowed. "And if I stay?" He looked at me steadily. "Then you become the reason someone else ends up here." The weight of it crushed down on me. Outside the door, I heard Lena screaming my name. The walls trembled. The building was moving again, and I understood now. This wasn't about escaping downward. It was about whether I would go back out or become another floor.
The walls shook harder. Not violently, insistently. Like the building was clearing its throat, waiting for an answer it had been patient enough not to demand until now. I stood inside the room labeled -4E, staring at the version of myself across the desk. He didn't look angry. He didn't look afraid. He looked settled. That scared me more than anything else. "You don't have much time," he said calmly. "You never do, really. You just pretend you do." Outside the door, Lena was still screaming my name. Each time she said it, the sound warped slightly, stretched thin, as if the building was deciding how much of her voice it would allow through. "Why does it matter which one of us stays?" I asked. "If you're already here, why does it need me too?" He smiled faintly. "It doesn't. Not yet. But it prefers redundancy." The words sat heavy in my chest. "People think this place feeds on regret. It doesn't. Regret is loud, temporary, easy to burn through." He gestured around the office. "It feeds on postponement, on lives that never collapse, never explode, just settle." The walls creaked again. Somewhere far below, I felt a shift, like another floor being added. "What happens to Lena?" I asked. He hesitated for the first time. "It depends on you and on her." I stepped closer to the desk. "I said you could leave, that I don't have to stay." He nodded. "You can walk out right now." "And then," I pressed, "and then I remain, and you go back upstairs with a life that feels lighter for a while." "For a while," I repeated. "Yes," he said, "until you delay again, and again, and eventually another elevator skips 0. The truth landed quietly. This wasn't a trap. It was a system. The building didn't punish people for failing. It absorbed people for stopping. The walls trembled harder. Dust drifted down from the ceiling. I heard a sharp crack outside. Not breaking, but locking. The building was closing options. "I don't want to replace you," I said. "I know. That's why you're dangerous." "Dangerous?" I frowned. "Dangerous?" He said, "To the building, not to me." Another rumble shook the floor. From somewhere outside the room, I heard Lena's door, -4B, begin to open. Her scream cut off abruptly.
No, I whispered. My other self looked away. That's the cost of waiting, he said quietly. Someone else moves first. I made a decision before my fear could dress itself up as logic. I grabbed the chair in front of the desk and dragged it back, hard. The sound echoed unnaturally loud. "What are you doing?" he asked. I climbed onto the desk and reached for the calendar on the wall, the one with every day crossed out, except today. I ripped it down. The room shuddered. Lights flickered. Somewhere, an elevator screamed, metal protesting motion it was never designed to make. "You can't finish this here," he said sharply now. "That's not how it works." "No," I agreed, "but I can refuse to leave it unfinished." I turned and opened the door. The hallway was chaos. Doors glowing, numbers flickering, the clipboard woman shouting orders that no longer aligned with anything. The people from lower floors backing away, confused, alarmed. Lena stood in front of her door, frozen, staring at what lay inside. She looked at me, eyes wide. I saw myself. She already gave up. I grabbed her hand. "Don't," I said. "Not yet." The building roared. Not angry, panicked. The elevator display above us flashed wildly. -9, -3, -11, 0. For the first time, the number 0 stayed, steady, bright. The man from the lower floors shouted, "That's impossible." "It is," I said. "That's the point." I turned back toward my door. The version of me stood in the doorway now, his expression unreadable. "If you go, you erase me." "No," I replied. "I finish you." I stepped backward into the hallway. The door to -4E began to dissolve, not closing, not collapsing, completing. The office inside faded, folding into itself like a thought finally allowed to end. My other self smiled, just a little. "About time," he said. Then he was gone. The floor lurched upward, hard. Lena screamed as the hallway folded inward, doors collapsing into walls, numbers melting away. The elevator doors slammed open behind us. 0. We fell inside as the doors shut. The elevator surged upward violently, then slowed. Ding. The doors opened. Ground floor, normal lighting, normal air, a security desk, a blinking exit sign. Lena collapsed onto the tile, sobbing. I stood there, breathing hard, half expecting the world to glitch. It didn't. The building behind us was silent. Later, outside, under a normal sky, Lena looked at me. "Is it gone?" I shook my head. "No," I said. "It just lost one floor." She frowned. "Is that enough?" I looked back at the building, at the elevators, at the people stepping inside, phones in hand, eyes tired, thoughts drifting toward later. For today. As we walked away, my phone buzzed. Not a message, not a call, just a system note. Floor recalibration complete. Below it, smaller text appeared. Next adjustment pending. I locked the screen. Because now I knew the truth. The building doesn't disappear, it waits. And somewhere, right now, an elevator is deciding whether to stop at 0 or keep going.